past 9/11 veteran or Homeland Security type issues for this officer, you'd get considered higher on it. And I've given you a spreadsheet of what your actual cost is with dollars. I got what your pay schedule was, and because I always like for you to know up front what it will cost you out of pocket.
Does you mentioned,
Did you get one of these, Rock?
not yet.
I mean, I didn't know, if y'all looked at that too.
Um,
Oh, she's got one there for you, Rock. Rick wants to look at one. But
you, you mentioned 911 members and retired officers. How about veterans? Are they included in?
It is a
Yeah.
veteran post
Oh,
911.
Yeah.
It has to be a post 911 veteran. But if you apply for that, that's what you have to hire.
so over a 3-year period, it's gonna cost the county, it says county share 3 years, 25%. So over those 3 years, we're gonna spend $26,000 and a few dollars on his payroll.
Yes.
And but that's just over 3 years. And this 6% administration. so
It's
we-
not included in the grant. That will come out of your pocket.
That's what I was thinking.
That's why it's in the column that
So-
says total county expense.
And in the 4th year, we would be out 34,889.
Right.
So basically for 4 years, it would cost us about $60,000.
Correct. 65.
Well, 65, yeah, I meant for him, yeah, the 4,700, that's added in there.
It'd be a little bit less if I can, get them to bump down the 25% to like 12%. But like I said, I always put the higher figure in there because I want worst case scenario and then pleasant surprise later.
What did you, that other grant that we first called you about, this isn't it, is it?
No,
It's a different-
no, sir. This
What
is.
about the first one we called you about?
Was it the storm shelters or?
No,
was it-
Brandy, when I talked to Brian about it, for the 100,000, it's the same one? Oh, I thought you told me this is a different one.
That's the one we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what do y'all think?
Good deal to me.
Basically, they're gonna spend $65,766 to hire a man for 4 years.
4 years. Full time.
The time you pay everything.
It's 15,000 a year roughly.
Yeah, it's about half price, less than half price.
And what would you have to do to possibly get the 25% down to 12%?
It's part of the narrative of it and how I write the grant. I just show a hardship due to economy things or,
Well, that was my question. Is it something that we need to do to be able to get the lower rate?
no, I take care of it with the application.
But this 6%, that's your fee, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and is it charged only if we get it?
Correct. It's due upon announcement of funding. Is when it would be due.
What do y'all think, Marvin?
Sounds like a good
Uh,
deal. Yeah,
It sounds like a good deal. All we need is a motion,
And you can also apply for this each year as long as you're increasing the number of officers
So-
each year.
Well, you about answered my question then, so. I'm it. Just, y'all wanna make a motion, it sounds like a good deal to me.
I'll make a motion, we go forward with it.
And I'll second it. Y'all in favor, Marvin?
Yes.
Roll call.
Just the same.
Yeah, I'm just, whenever you get.
You said. Paul Story,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Marlon Nolan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is, I got a
Thank you.
question, is this for hiring one?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you apply for multiples or just
She
one?
said after, the next year, we can go out for another one. How many years can you do that in
How
a
many
row?
officers do you have currently?
On the sheriff's office?
Mm-hmm.
I think 4, I think.
Okay.
Well,
So that limits you to one. It's a percentage of how many current officers you have, is what it is. So I think it's like, I can't remember if it's 5 or 10%, but
But
that
you
would
did
limit
say
you with one.
if we get one this year, we can apply again next year.
Yes, you can keep applying.
For
I
an
have one
additional officer.
for additional.
how many
And
years?
next year an additional.
How many years can you do that?
Many years ago, I had 4 of them going, one in the final year and all that when I was clerk at Walika. They even flew somebody down from 2 people down from Washington D.C. to check out, see if it was really true, and it was. So it's just with it, but money was a lot better grant wise back then. Grants are tight now. I can't guarantee you'll get it. You know.
Right, but, yeah, I understand you can't guarantee. we'll
But
get
you
it.
can apply every year for it as long as you're abiding by what you're supposed to do on it, and I will keep you straight on what you're supposed to do on it.
Did
So,
you do roll call on that number of days?
I did do that, yes, I did.
Just double check. Well, I guess, how long think it'll be before you can tell us something?
they usually announce it in October and November, and they don't let you do the hiring until after the first of the year. It has been their time frame in the past.
That's fair.
So,
Well, that's fair enough. We're moving down to discussion of jail committee. We have 2 members here today.
Randy's out of town and, I talked to him.
No, excuse me, I'm sorry. Tom is here, he's behind me. I stand corrected, go ahead, go ahead.
Randy's out of town and, he told me that he worked on 3 air conditioning units this weekend and got them working. 1's still down, and there was 38 in jail this morning. And he had talked to, I left my notes playing, some guy that's supposed to be here within 2 weeks to go over all of them. We talked about once before, service them.
That'll be good. There was a guy from Keota, and you know him, Clark, he's on the fire department. He's the one that spoke here that day, Rick. He stood right behind the camera.
Leroy Glenn?
Leroy Glenn, I mean, I don't know. He said he would be more than willing to come out there if we ever needed some help. He said he was in heat and air business.
That's David Fox
David
from
Fox.
McCarthy.
Okay, David Fox, I'm sorry. But, he acted like, I mean, he doesn't work for free, but, you know, if he could help us a little bit or something if we needed him.
It'd be good.
He's an electrician, heat and air guy. And, he acted like he would look at it and then we could go from there, you know, if needed.
Okay.
Rock, you got anything? Committee.
At our last meeting, always determined that we was gonna put the 1/4%. Are we still in process of doing that?
Yes, I have a CPA coming this week. And we're gonna work on that. It's like Rick said, I mean, it's pretty much done, but he's coming Wednesday.
Okay.
I've already been in contact with him and we're gonna be in Gail's office and we're gonna be getting some numbers and everything, taking care of it. We're working towards it.
Well, that's the only question I had on that. Of course, we're still trying to figure out Plan B in case our tax don't pass, and we'll have to get with you at a later date on where that's at.
And we can come back to that, but Gail has the question was brought up a week or 2 ago or last week, I don't know exactly when, but about why we're paying $4,700 on the health department, which the county never pays a dime on it. But you want to explain it or just show it?
Well, yeah, the money comes from the Oklahoma State Department of Health. Every month they deposit this money into our bank account. And then Sue Davis from the health department, she makes a deposit on this to get it on my books. And then the health department pays the Choctaws for the lease of their building. The county does not have nothing to do with it. The county does not spend anything on it. So I know that come up in the meeting last week, that the county was paying the Choctaws for the lease of the health department, and that is not a fact. Right here's where it comes from, so.
I brought it up. I didn't say it was a fact. I just say when you read the minutes, it it says health department Choctaws and it gives an amount. It looks like y'all are writing them a check. So until
we're not.
anybody, then you have to explain that kind of stuff to us because we don't do that. This isn't our job, so we don't know where that money goes.
That's what she's doing, explaining.
It's all,
They haven't explained it
No
before.
one
they
ever
have before,
asked.
but it's just like Rhonda's, the election board, I mean, her salary is reimbursed by the state, and Brandy, her salary is reimbursed by FEMA through the state. So, I mean, yes, we do write Brandy a check, so I say we, the county, but if we did not have her, we would not be getting the reimbursement from the state, and we would not be eligible for federal grants without someone in that position. So I understand where you're coming from, and I can see how some things will be a little misleading, but I was reading, I'm just clearing that up about Brandy's salary and Rhonda's. Without those people in that position, you wouldn't be getting the money anyway.
Wouldn't it be a good idea to note that some way in the minutes or whatever, so you do know that that's being paid for
Every
by
month?
somebody else?
I mean, what do you, I have a question. I mean, I understand.
Hang on. We're on the jail committee. We're gonna go to new business here in just a minute, but I brought that up because we was talking about the money on the plan for the jail, and that's the reason I brought that up at this time. We're fixing to go to new business though, here, unless somebody else has something for the jail.
I have one more question.
Is it about the
meeting
jail?
About the jail.
Okay.
The meeting that you're having with this CPA, is this I forget who asked last time. Oh, Bill Allen did. He asked, had you also thought about getting some help, outside help from a professional on your financial?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, is that what that guy, that's what I'm just asking. Is
Yeah,
that
that's
what
what
that
he
guy
is.
is?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's coming down. Yeah, we're
Okay.
getting some help. I mean, we're complying
Okay.
with
Well, I didn't hear what all you said, and
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't know if
sorry.
that was it.
it.
Can I make one comment? After reading the article in the newspaper a couple of weeks ago, I was so mad I couldn't even come to the next meeting. And since I've come to this one, I've learned that there was a lot of misinformation in that newspaper article. I think the newspaper needs to get a straight story about what they said week before last and put it in the paper so that the county citizens, all of them, everybody's not going to watch this video on the internet. A lot of people don't even have internet, but most people in the county read that paper, and we kind of need the straight stuff in that paper, particularly when they were accusing, or maybe not accusing, but stating that there was something like $180,000 being misappropriated and all that kind of stuff. And I now that I've come to this meeting, I've discovered that in the last meeting maybe that was explained, but it needs to come out in the paper. That the only thing that was in the paper last week was a little deal. We're going to have numbers next week. So that's my spiel for today.
Okay, Zeke. All right. Thank you. You got anything else?
I don't
Aaron?
have anything to you, Rob.
Do you, Rob?
No, I have nothing else.
Tom, you're on the committee.
You good?
I would ask the committee one thing if I could. We're talking about Plan B. Has the committee made any suggestions to pay for this jail if the bond or the half-cent sales tax fails?
Well, the answer to that is, Paul said last week he's gonna put the full 3/4 cent into the jail fund, and that will cover it. That'll take care of that problem. Regard the 3/4%, if the revenues come in like they have been, will be enough to make the payment.
3/4. What 3/4?
Let me, Rick's right. I mean, I'm not disputing anything he said because it's all on paper, but right now, we've been putting a 0.5% into, is it called the GRO account? Where the money goes?
Bond.
The bond payment account, we have in the jail's office set up where it's automatic, it's withdrawn every month to bank first. Well, we've been putting a 0.5% in there, which is averages $36,000 a month.
Around 36, 37.
Did the people vote for any other money to go in other than the original 1/2 cent?
No, sir. The
No.
people did not.
They did not.
But that's something that's gonna have to be hashed out with an attorney, but
This other, the 2014 sales tax was for county funding, was it not? I've read it, so it
I've
says
read the
county
ballot.
funding,
And
It says for general use.
general use.
Yes.
And you could be put into this if the commissioners voted for it.
Yes.
They could use it that way for paying for the jail, correct?
Yes,
But was not voted that way, but they could use it that way.
yes.
Have you done that?
Is the jail a separate entity than the Haskell County courthouse, than the Haskell County
hey,
government?
Ron, I'm gonna say that's something we,
Yes.
Okay,
talking
so
about-
you might not can.
hey, but that's the reason I said.
You
The,
would be outside the
We're
county.
gonna have to talk about that.
to answer your question, when they refinanced it in 2014, the commissioners, acting as commissioners of the jail trust, dedicated 3/4 cent of the tax money to go for the jail payment.
Another quarter.
They added a quarter.
They added a quarter above that half. They made it change it to 3/4.
Rick,
And so that was,
Hang on, Rick, we Tom on
they
something.
pledged the 3/4, which is different than dedicating it. They pledged it against the bonds in case
To
they,
make the payment.
to make the payments. If they default on the bonds, then the bondholders will recoup that whole 3/4 cent. That's different than dedicating it. You see what I'm saying?
Well, anyway,
I don't know the difference in
I
paying
mean,
and dedicating.
I'm with you on Rick on that, but at the end of the day, we're gonna have to pay for that jail. And I'm a simple kind of guy,
It's a big difference.
and if we take the 1/4% and put it towards the jail, paying for the courthouse and the jail, which I will. Well, I'm gonna say this, I hope our CPA can produce something within a week on paper, I hope, not making any promises, showing that when the whole 3/4 goes in there, I don't know how you're gonna hire any I don't know how you're gonna pay for any jailers, because right now that 1/4% is paying the jailers. So when you take that away and you put it towards the payment, I don't know how we're gonna pay the jailers, but that's the reason we're going after the 1/2 cent sales tax.
if it fails, and again, I asked, if it fails, Plan B, what's gonna happen?
Well, Plan B, for
Plan
me,
B.
I'm gonna be finding me a couple of attorneys and check on what Tom said. But we're gonna have to pay for the jail. It's that simple. We have no choice.
Oh, there's no doubt it's how we're gonna pay for the
And
jail.
the way I think it will happen, the 3/4 cent's gonna go in there. I mean, that's what I think, and that's what we're planning on doing, so.
But bottom line, if that other 1/4% goes to the jail payment, the county and the jail can't survive long term.
Is it?
You can't cut, you
Ma'am,
can't make any
ma'am.
cuts?
We've hashed that out, and I've been asked by numerous people, even people watch the video, there's no need keep beating this dead horse about cuts. We made cuts last year, and I hate to keep repeating myself. State statutes demand what we pay, and besides the 2 custodians, we're only 2 people over. So cuts, yeah, you could fire 4 people, and you're not gonna have a clean
Well, I'm not
courthouse.
saying necessarily fire people.
But
I'm
whoever,
just saying, are there cuts you
No,
can
ma'am.
make, period? Anything where you can cut back on anything?
anyway, does the 3 jail committee members have anything else to say?
No.
No.
All right, we're going on to, is there any new business? Yes.
to answer that 180,000, I thought that was that 1/4% that wasn't put in. Am I right?
No, that's
Right on that, or was that?
like I said, we've talked about that, and to answer your question,
Yes.
I've talked to I've lost my mind there for a minute, the auditor, the one that done the audit on the jail.
Yes.
They're gonna clean that up July 1st, and they're gonna take that off there because we did make the payment. They done the audit before the land sale, we did make the payment. So we're gonna be acknowledging everything that they told us in there, because I'm getting some financial advice, and outside financial advice, that was paid. So I mean, and the other 1/4%, and like I said, in my opinion, like Rick stated, I figured the other 1/4% is gonna have to go in there. And I just want people of House County know, and it's pretty plain math, I don't know why we're being buckled. Or if we don't get the other 1/2%, I don't say you're gonna keep the courthouse and the jail open, or both of them, but anyway, was there any new business? So if there's not any new business, I'm gonna make a motion we adjourn. But I would like to say this, I do thank everybody for coming, because I appreciate the community getting